have anything to deal with these Mutalisks and is just bleeding units. It looks like, wow, let's see if Machine turns around and goes for the economy, really what he should focus on instead of dealing with this bunker here. It looks like he's going to continue to wear it down. Let's see if some, oh man, that's unfortunate. I feel like Machine had a very nice opportunity to do a lot of damage, but instead just kind of backed off, and that let Lzgamer get some turret coverage. Lzgamer now getting an armory quite a bit later than he should be to perhaps produce some Thors. Looks like he does have a siege tank in the meantime, but now Machine is just, well, he should pump harvesters. You're probably going to see that harvester count go up to near 70 here very, very rapidly, and I'm just going to leave it there in the corner. He is also teching up, getting 2 evolution chambers as well as a baneling nest. So I take it back as far as the rapid transition towards Broodlords, and there you already have 60 Harvesters, and I expect 10 more in short order. The Mutalisks continuing to just camp out. Looks like they're going to dive in once again, try to do some damage. Lzgamer getting a little bit greedy here because, no, Mutalisk, get out of there. Mutalisk already killed. Machine actually not microing his Mutas very well, just being a little bit lazy with that. Actually, that was one of his fortes in the original StarCraft, and right now just kind of moving them around, just letting them be a little bit lagging. It looks like we do have the near 70 Harvester count there for Machine. Let's see if level 1 weapons has been upgraded on these Marines. Yes, it has been upgraded. Looks like level 1 armor is on its way. But Lzgamer just being harassed, being slowed down. He needs to build his economy. Machine feeling very secure with just a couple Mutalisks, taking 2 more expansions across the 3 o'clock location, taking that main and that natural, and he's going to have a huge economy in very, very, very short time. Looks like he has centrifugal hooks. So going to have some very fast banelings to deal with any overcommitment on Marines, and I really feel like he's outplaying Lzgamer step for step, because instead of overcommitting here on the Mutalisks, he's kind of forcing more Marines to be produced. And if you can see on the production tab, lots of Marines, and well, I guess you still do have a good amount of Marauders out in the field and some siege tanks, which is going to make those banelings a little bit less effective. But trying to force Lzgamer to a more Marine-heavy composition, and perhaps kind of go for an overall commitment to sort of Muta baneling, which is very, very strong, very, very powerful. And another thing I like what Machine does occasionally is he'll go for that Overlord drop. It looks like he is getting the speed upgrade for the Overlords, which leads me to believe that he is in fact going to go for a Ventral Sax upgrade to do some Overlord drops down the line rather than sticking with... I almost wonder if he would be better suited with the Nidus canal, or the Nidus network I should say, but oh well, still 2 damage medevacs that survived that last engagement, and 2 more medevacs, and this is a very impressive ball here by Lzgamer, but not too far behind supply either when you consider the amount of harassment that he's kind of been under. But that is a lot of banelings underneath, and Machine, let's see how well he micros it is really what's going to be the key. If he doesn't explode too much in inopportune situations like on one Marauder, it's like 18 banelings, 1 Marauder. That Marauder's so dead, but it doesn't really help out overall. Lzgamer going up, taking this gold expansion, Machine just letting him have it, feeling like these 2 expansions will be fine. I think he does have that scouted out. Actually, let's see if he decides to commit to an attack now. He is starting to move up with with the spine crawlers, and he's also bringing, it looks like these, they're so cute, the banelings up along the right-hand side. But Lzgamer not in the best position. This is the thing, when you have siege tanks up here like this, and you have scouting particularly on that Xel'Naga watchtower at either location, that plus the siege tanks plus any sort of infantry, it's very difficult to deal with these bases. Looks like instead Machine's like, go ahead and take that gold expansion. I'm going to deny 12 o'clock from you. I'm going to deny basically every other base. Take that out of your hands. Looks like continuing with the Flyer Carapace, which leads me to believe he is thinking about the late game Broodlord upgrade. But yeah, thinking about more the long-term economic positioning rather than worrying about just the single gold expansion is just pumping, starting to pump out of these 3 o'clock bases, and he has a very strong economy, is almost maxed. Let's see, it's really going to be up to Lzgamer to really have presence of mind and push forward, maybe get a couple drops. Looks like he has loaded up a Thor, a couple medevacs, and is thinking about a drop on the main. Unfortunately, the main is almost mined out, and that's not really going to provide him with more or less a lot of damage. Might be able to get some tech. Now starting to move out here across the 3 o'clock location with that Thor, but playing very, very passively. Still feels like he's in the lead, even though I think Machine's maxed. He's not too far from maxed either. I guess it might come down just to positioning and upgrades, and currently you have 1-1 on one side. You have the Carapace upgrade and Carapace 2 on the way for the Mutalisks, and that's not really going to help me out. Ground Carapace is upgraded. 3 o'clock location completely exposed. The banelings were there. It's a trap. No, Lzgamer. It's a trap. Looks like the Thor is out in front, but those banelings getting good spread and landing in groups, and that was so many banelings. They actually took out the Thor and almost instantaneously destroyed everything there. Wow. That was a lot of banelings. And yes, okay, Machine dropped 50 supply worth of banelings, and he's going to clean this up. But wow, Lzgamer lost nearly 100 supply in the matter of 15 seconds there. Brilliant kind of bait there, and I like the defense. Looks like we are seeing another drop here across the 6 o'clock location by Lzgamer to try to even things up. But a beautiful bait and trap. Looks like the Mutalisks going to run up and just pick off the Marines. Plenty of Mutalisks there to help defend. That is going to slow down his gas. Unfortunately, it looks like there are enough Marines. That plus the medevac gonna still do a decent amount of damage. Trying to get the... Oh! Did he get the evolution chamber before the upgrade finished? No, it looks like that... I think level 2 weapons did in fact finish just a half second before that evolution chamber was taken out. So very, very close there. Lzgamer is going to be kicking himself when he watches this replay. Actually, no, probably. More Mutalisks providing some additional harass. The Marines actually pretty decently upgraded, going to do significant damage to these Mutalisks. But now Lzgamer trying to take that 12 o'clock location, just praying he's going to keep Machine distracted long enough. Also trying to... This is desperation tactics now. Also trying to take the 9 o'clock base. In the meantime, his main is completely breached. Looks like, again, Machine really not paying a lot of attention to these Mutalisks, just kind of diving them in. But he really doesn't need to, is really what it comes down to. Looks like he's getting that level 2. I think that upgrade, I assume it was weapons 1. Looks like level 2 ground carapace is also being upgraded. I guess let's see if it's out of the same... Okay, 2 there. I don't know. It was so close. It was so close. Mutalisks have been cleaned up. Lzgamer now taking a lot of map control. Let's see what Machine's up to. Looks like he's loading up for a Doom drop with a lot of Zerglings. See if he's actually going to do kind of that nice little... I almost feel like it's the Germans over London sort of style with the Zeppelins, just dropping the banelings out of there. So getting a lot of Zerglings in position. I assume that all of these are going to morph into banelings, and you're just going to see a gigantic, terrible drop force of doom and green explosions and acid everywhere. Looks like additional Thor is being produced to try to cope with that. Yeah, see, look at that, 16 banelings. You see them, look at them all morphing. They're kind of gross when they're doing this, but I think once they're there and they're rolling around, they are pretty adorable. Looks like a preemptive drop of just Zerglings already starting here at the 9 o'clock location. Looks like another drop did sneak through across the 3 o'clock, very quickly taken care of. But yeah, Thor there to try to harass, but the Zerglings are going to have fun with that. They're just kind of playing. It's almost like a little play toy. The Marauders and Marines are going to come up to help support that. Are they going to be able to save the Thor in time? No, not able to save the Thor. 12 o'clock location completely getting raked over by Mutalisks. Looks like it was turning into a planetary fortress. That's not happening. And it looks like an additional planetary fortress here, but let's see if the group repair is going to cut it. I almost wonder if this is the perfect amount of banelings to blow up a planetary fortress. And no, it's not. But Lzgamer should be able to repair. Maybe it was, I don't know, but dying along the way. So Machine just doing a couple pithy attacks here and there, also taking this middle gold expansion and continuing to produce banelings and banelings and banelings. Wow, a huge amount of banelings. Bringing those overlords back. Looks like Lzgamer realizing he's kind of in a desperate situation, abandoning all base defense here. And it looks like I missed Mutalisks now running up and taking care of what was left of that expansion. Running up with the medevacs, he's going to try to drop on the main to try to basically slow down Machine's production, get some of these critical tech buildings, I should say, tack buildings. Looks like the Zerglings and the banelings rapidly dashing up in here. That's the problem with them. They're so mobile, and those banelings rolling in have to be so scary, and they are just... Wow, that was not even funny. Okay, still a Thor there, but not going to last long. He's got plenty of banelings to spare. It looks like lifting off. Nice save by Lzgamer. Now the Mutalisks is starting to shift in. That is scary. 3 o'clock base actually getting creeped and taken care of, but Machine also losing his gold expansion on a counterattack here. But he's still, again, he has banelings on top of banelings. He's got a lot of green, and I don't mean like money green, although he does have a lot of that as well. Zerglings coming in for a flank on the north. Pincer attack. Green explosion. Wow, it was like the green didn't even stop. Oh man, and now that gold expansion is not going to last very long. Mutalisks rushing in, Zerglings rushing in, and here come the little cute green balls of death and doom. Just wow, they just come up and it's like they touch it and it explodes. It looks like Machine just getting neural he's just grabbing every he's like, I got a ton of cash. Missing a drop here right back at the main, and Machine leaving himself exposed. Looks like he might lose the bangling nest, might lose His hive might also lose his spawning pool, which is what the majority of his tech has been up to this stage. Needs to be careful with that. But now, yeah, does lose his hive, doesn't lose the Bangly Nest, still has his spawning pool, has the rest of his tech very, very quickly lifting up with those units, so very nice. But Lzgamer gonna GG. He has no economy left, so I almost feel like that was the last second kind of spite, like, haha, I was able to do something. And shout out to Steve-O right there on the list. I'm trying to think of other people I need to shout out to. Goober, who's provided me with some audio help. I do have a really nice intro coming up here in the near future, so look for it. Probably will be debuted on Machinima though, to try to attract people over to regular StarCraft class. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you guys have replays for me, by the way, go ahead and email them to me. They're right there on the main YouTube channel. And yeah, I could use any supportive or encouraging words you were able to provide. Keeps me going, especially in the midst of all these technical difficulties like the frame rate issues. Thanks for listening. Special thanks to Machine for giving me this replay.